Hello. The goal of this video is to show you a couple different options that you can interrogate your model when you have singularities that are resulting from reentrants, from fixtures, from those types of things. Ideally, we would really want to be modeling our geometry so that we do not have singularities occur. For me, I made sure that I had a fillet on this inside corner right here. But you can see that I also have some singularities occurring around where my foundation bolt is that's attaching this onto the frame. So what I'll do is several different options. If I'm concerned with my overall maximum stress within this model, if I was to check for convergence and I kept shrinking down my mesh, since I have some singularities here, my mesh would continue to increase. So one option I have is I could look where else on my model my peak stress is besides this area. So if I look around, the next highest area is this green band right here. Well, what is that value? I could go ahead, right click, and I can probe. And then if I said on selected entities, I can click this face right here. And if I click update, it'll show me what the maximum value is along that face. So in this case, it's 1.6 megapascals. Well, then what I can do is I can change this number over here by just clicking that top, and I could make that be 1.6 e to the sixth. Hit the check mark. And now my color scale, I can see where I have my peak stresses occurring in there. So one trick is just to change your overall scale and then be ignoring areas where there's singularities, in this case underneath that fixture. The other trick is to right click on a region and you can just probe that particular region. But it might be important for us to be able to analyze our entire model. So if you notice right on the bottom here, I have different filters that are turned on or turned off. To access little filter grouping, you need to press the F5 key on your keyboard, and that'll either hide or show those items. So what I'm going to do is create a brand new stress plot with the goal of ignoring these areas where there's stress concentrations. To do that, I'll right click, define stress plot, and then I'm going to go into advanced options, and I'm going to say show plot on selected entities. And if you remember the vice grip we did, we had the choice to either have faces or bodies. In the vice grip, we selected that entire body, that link. But here we're going to be picking faces. And the reason I have the filters on here is it'll make it very easy if I turn on my filter faces, and if I just drag across this area, then I will be getting all of those faces within that geometry. It actually works a little bit better, or it's easier to visualize if you first click on model and you come back to your study so that you don't see any colors added onto there. So let me repeat that again. Right click, define stress plot, move down to advanced options, show plot on selected entities, make sure my filter's on, click and drag across, and now I see all these faces are painted pink. Looks like I missed 3 that I couldn't see. So I'll select all of those, and then I don't want to have this face or this face. I'll turn my filter off, and then I'll click OK. And now my plot is automatically set to the maximum, and it shows my areas here, and so now I can use this plot to evaluate how things are going to look. We also have the ability that we can use sensors. So whether we're using a design study or whether we just want to create a sensor within our model to keep track of things as we make changes, I can right click on sensors, say add sensor, and in this case we'll go to simulation data. We're going to create a factor of safety. We don't want the model max nor the model min. We want the minimum over selected entities. I'll use my trick again, filter faces, select everything except for these, and again, since they were selected already and I have that box blue, anything that I pick that's already blue gets removed, or if it's still gray, it gets added. Click OK. And now my sensor is reporting to me what my minimum factor of safety is for my design, ignoring those areas where I have peak stress inside of there. With these few tricks, you should be able to analyze your models, even though you do have singularities occurring underneath your fixtures. Good luck and happy analyzing.